Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, boys and girls of all ages, everyone had their highs and their lows. Welcome back to another video of 210 Movement. This is Alex Diaz, the second host of our podcast. I'm Andre Marmolejo. This is Ben Mostyn. Everyone, welcome him. Check it out. Say
He's
hi.
our special guest of the evening.
Yeah, say hi. Introduce
Well,
yourself.
hello. Hi. Thank you all for having me. I'm Ben Mostyn, and I'm running for Texas House of Representatives, District 117, or District 117.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything you want to say about yourself? Anything like personal, like before politics? Who is Ben Mostyn really?
Before politics, who is Ben Mostyn? Well, Ben Mostyn has a unique story. I grew up very different than most people. I was homeschooled my entire life until the 10th grade. Grew up in a very conservative Christian, Judeo-Christian kind of background. I was taught to be self-sufficient. In fact, the Amish people and the Mennonites used to come visit us because of the similarities. I learned how to, farm, raise animals, woodworking, pottery, metalwork, leatherwork, all that stuff. And thought I would be a farmer when I grew up. But that's the atmosphere of the life that I grew up in. And when I was a teenager, my parents went to a different church. It was a Pentecostal church, holy roller, old school, hellfire and brimstone. And I didn't grow up with television. Didn't grow up with television. We didn't listen to secular radio. We didn't attend sporting events. By the way, I'm a big Spurs fan. And that has a story of its own. But anyways, and I went to a public school in the 10th grade and was selected for one of the first programs in the United States where kids went to high school and to college simultaneously. It was a pilot program, and I was one of the 24 selected and one of four to graduate the program, became the spokesmodel for it, studied electrical engineering. I was also the youngest employee in the MCI Corporation. This is before we had cell phones. We had a local phone carrier and a long distance phone carrier, and MCI was one of those companies. But then I went into the Army. I was a paratrooper. I served as an intelligence analyst, specializing in geospatial intelligence, and became an ISR SME. Took a left turn, got scouted for modeling, was in the modeling industry, became an actor.
Wow. Wasn't that interesting?
Yeah. And would go back to corporate life. I'd been working since I was 9 years old. But I went back to corporate life and then eventually back to the military Department of Defense. I taught for the Department of Defense for many years. And I also deployed and worked as subject matter expert, advising the commanding general and the National Security Council. And so I've had a very broad life of everything from very conservative to very liberal in the entertainment industry. So I've walked every path and everything in between.
I think that's what we want. And
He's an ace of all trades.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. So, what moment in that life that you lived made you believe you should step into politics?
Coming back from combat, well, actually, in combat, watching the country fall apart. Whether it was the border or Black Lives Matter or just so many riots and crime and freedoms that kept on being taken away. And here you are fighting, to bring democracy and to bring freedom to, these other countries and to protect the United States and what we uphold. And you just watch it being eroded. And then when I got back to the country, I realized that, things have changed, and I couldn't wait to get back to Texas. And I finally got back to Texas, and because this is where I grew up, and I found out that it was basically the same thing was going on in Texas. I said, what happened to Texas? Right? This is not
Yep.
how I left it. People were no longer friendly. They were no longer respectful. Those ideals were invading Texas.
Yeah.
And Texas was no longer becoming Texas. And that's what got me involved. That's what got me out there saying, okay, who's running the show? What exactly are we getting for what we are voting for? Who's running in the first
Yep.
place? And that got me poking around, and here we are.
I respect that.
Well, what's that's honestly really good. Because when you see the problem and you want to take the step to fix it, that means a lot and it says a lot about a person. So, um, yeah, it's good.
I've always been the one to exercise initiative. When you see something that's needed, you
Yep.
just step in and correct it.
Kind of just do it.
So something totally off topic and wild, New York City, Manhattan, all right, and it's a traffic jam,
Mhm.
and I'm just going about my regular day
Yep.
and traversing the streets, and you see this traffic jam, and it's like, why is it like this?
Yep.
Oh, that's because everybody's sitting in the middle of the intersection. Now, these cars have the green light, they can't go. So I just get out in the middle of the intersection. Okay, you stop, you go, wait a minute, da 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 da, and get things moving again.
Yeah.
Nobody asked me to do it, but I had time, I had a moment. And so I got in there and helped people out. That's the person that Ben Mostyn is. I've always been like that, where you see a need, you step in, you fill that need.
Yep. Like one of the leaders that are here to wake people up, because there's a lot of us. Like I was telling you the other day, that too many of us are just so inert in our own nature of everyday life that if someone comes along and tries to tell them what's right, they're gonna like push back on it.
Yeah. Yeah, you need someone to step in and to fill the gap,
Exactly.
to put the finger in the hole in the dike, in the proverbial dike,
Yep.
to stop the water, to stop the bleeding, to stop the insanity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we so badly need in politics. And we need someone at the table that can see the forest and the trees simultaneously,
Yes.
that can cut through the noise, cut through the storm, cut through the clouds of the social temperature, and get to solving problems.
Okay. Yeah. So you've worked in all these different trades. What experience shaped your worldview the most?
All of them.
Every single one.
All of them have played a role.
Yeah.
Because, like I said earlier, I have lived everything from this, basically like a farm boy, ranching and growing, crops and being self-sufficient, and very much a Christian, and a very narrow view to being in a world that is wide open,
Yeah.
and anything goes, and it's just crazy. And then also, realizing in combat and in my travels, I've been to numerous continents. I've lived overseas. There's, I say first world problems. First world problems. I'll never forget. I was in the Philippines, and I was driving down the road, and there was this neighborhood, and we have bad neighborhoods here in
Yes.
San Antonio and throughout America, and there was this neighborhood that we were going through, and these houses, I mean, they make our bad neighborhoods look like mansions.
Yep.
These houses, they might have 3 walls, maybe. And it was just anything they could find: cardboard, trash, tin metal to somehow make some sort of shelter. And there's people bathing, getting cooking water, washing clothes in this river that was filthy, so filthy. And this lady is walking down the street, and she had a baby, her baby on her hip, and she was so skinny you could see every single rib in her cage. And this is a whole community. Imagine if you were to go to one of our sides of town, and that was just normal. In combat, seeing what these people, the lives that they lived, and where everything is life or death, and that really wakes you up
Yeah.
and says, these are first world problems where you don't have running water or electricity or food, or you get beheaded or stoned. For a crime or for something that offended somebody else, or we are so blessed to
Yeah.
be Americans. We are so blessed to be Texans, and we are squandering our opportunity and being led astray by those that are leading, that have nothing but self-interest at heart.
I respect that. I think after hearing that, that's a crazy story. I know that San Antonio historically has red line districts, and if you pay attention, their their main focus is to fix the roads on like the north side, the nicer sides of town, as opposed to say the east side or the inner west side or the south side. Why do you think that is?
Well, you have to understand, a lot of people don't realize that the top 10%
Mm,
of Texans, of Americans in general, pay 70% of the taxes.
yep.
They're the ones that are financing the majority of the things that we have in government and in social services, because they are in a higher tax bracket. If you're making $15,000, $30,000 a year, you're paying little to no taxes at all.
Yep.
Sure, maybe there's a little tax on whatever you buy, but out of your income, even if it's above the table and being reported on, and you're doing your taxes and everything properly,
Yeah.
that no one's really paying into that. So it's the wealthy that are paying into that,
Hmm.
and because of that, that deference is afforded. And so at first glance, it seems wrong. Yet think about it: if you were in their shoes and you had made it to that level, and you were making $500,000 or 2 million or $1 billion a year, what would you want to see in your neighborhood and on your streets? And so, is it right? Is it wrong? But see, therein lies the truth. That doesn't mean that we don't have enough to square away the other sides of town that do not have the economic opportunity or the economic stability that other sides of town have. So I don't think it makes it excusable. In my district, we have the far west side and the south side,
Mm,
two completely different areas. And the south side of the district is often unattended,
yeah.
whereas the far west side there's going to be a lot more uh, responsiveness to the needs.
Yes.
Yet both lack in many categories, and that's why this November you vote for Ben Mostyn, so that everyone on both sides has what they need, and that we're doing things judiciously and justly.
What's something that you think people misunderstand about you?
Oh man, um, they misunderstand that I am aloof, that I'm aloof or cocky, or that yeah, I didn't grow up in San Antonio. I grew up in Austin. I grew up on the south side of Austin, which, by the way, is the same as the south side of San Antonio. It's the hood. Okay. So every city in Texas has that in common. But I guess just not knowing,
Hmm.
not knowing me well enough. When I started my campaign in January 2023, I just kind of dropped in out of nowhere because of the problem set that we were talking about. I said, "Who's running the show?"
Exactly.
And put me in, coach. I have a tremendous amount of skill sets, and I'm a problem solver. I'm the guy you call when you have a problem. But I've normally worked behind the scenes in a very quiet capacity,
Mm.
and so I just showed up out of nowhere. And so a lot of people thought I was carpetbagging, or I don't have the knowledge or the understanding, and so on and so forth. So there's a few misconceptions, but you get to know me and you find out that yes, I'm intense. Yes, I'm serious. Yes, I get things done. Uh, but I'm very lighthearted, very lighthearted. Yeah, I have a sick sense of humor. Years in combat, military, the old school
Yeah,
military. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. So listen.
I respect that. Now this goes into our next question. Why do you genuinely believe that you would be like the best candidate for District 117?
Because I get things done. We need a problem solver, not a politician. And that's precisely what I've spent a lifetime doing, is solving problems. It doesn't matter what industry I've worked in. And by the way, I've worked in numerous industries simultaneously. That's why my resume, or my CV as I carry,
Mm.
is so deep. And so I have a broad amount of experience and a viewpoint that is unlike anyone else. No one in office currently. I doubt anyone that will eventually come into office. And the reason why is because of my background and having experienced all these things in life
Yes.
and all these wonderful things, yet all these hardships as well. And that gave me an understanding. I get it. I get it. And as a result, because I get it, I don't get twisted up on political things
Mm.
or social trends. Stick to the problem. What do we need to do to fix our roads? What do we need to do to not sit in traffic so long? School choice, that's great. All right. If you've got the money and you've got transportation, get your voucher, send your kid to a better school. Fantastic. It doesn't fix public schools. The public schools are still failing. The teachers are still not getting paid. Our taxes are still going up. So all of these things, yeah, I get it. You do you. Live your life. But there are things that we expect from our government and our leadership, and that is why I'm the best person. And we've had the same guy for almost 2 decades. We know what he's
Holy
going to
cow.
do, or in this case, what he's not going to do. And so the voters have absolutely nothing to lose,
Mm.
nothing to lose, and everything to gain by voting Ben Mostyn this November.
And this goes into our next question. What do you think is being most ignored in District 117 right now?
It's just going to be the mainstay of my platform. My platform is the same platform from 2024, 2026. What do you know? That didn't even have to change anything. Imagine that. Okay. So, again, going down the line, fix our public schools, fix our roads and our highways, finish them, fix our property taxes, fix the cost of electricity, healthcare, daycare. These are the pain points of our district and frankly of all San Antonio. And make sure that we are bringing in responsible economic opportunities to San Antonio and get them in our district, right? That way, people on the south side or on the far west side, while we fix that traffic, don't have to sit there even longer. Our economic portfolio in San Antonio must be upgraded. We rely on the military. That is a majority of our money. Okay. But when that federal budget gets frozen or there's a change of plans because there's a new administration, whatever it is,
Yes.
that hurts San Antonio tremendously. Now, take away the military. What do we have left? Tacos and tourism.
Yep.
That's what our economy is. We need more JBL. We need more Toyota. We need more blue collar jobs, manufacturing, reshore some of these jobs that went to Mexico, take the jobs that are leaving the blue states and the Democrat led states that are coming to Texas, get those here in San Antonio. And if I can just finish out with AI and the data centers and all that stuff, this is fantastic. But number one, those are an expertise. That's going to require an expertise. That's not necessarily the jobs that we need the most of in San Antonio. Second of all, it's not going to require a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's the whole point of AI. Okay. And third of all, when we sap up that space with AI and with technology, what that's going to do, aside from draining electric and water resources and so on, what that's going to do is negatively impact us. How? Because we are going to Austin ourselves out of a home. If we just bring in nothing but technology, it is going, our property taxes, which I want to get rid of, I want to eliminate our property taxes and everything. It's going to go through the roof. And San Antonio is not ready for that leap. Now we're making those strides with the programs that we have at the colleges here in San Antonio. And we are making fast progress, but we're not ready for that ginormous leap. And in the meanwhile, there's so many people that live in San Antonio and have lived here for decades, whether they're supposed to or not, and that are a part of our fabric. Okay, the fabric of our society here in San Antonio, that just are not going to be a fit for those types of jobs. And we need a fit for those folks so that they can get out of debt, so that they can become homeowners, so that they can build a family and build generational wealth.
I like that. I like that a lot. I got two more questions and I'm going to pass it to him.
All right.
First one, do you think Texas will ever become a blue state?
It's not impossible. People forget that we weren't a red state until Karl Rove changed that around. We were a Southern state. We were a Confederate state. We were segregation. We were KKK. We were everything.
Speaking of KKK, the Goatman's Bridge.
Yeah. We're going to go check out a haunted, scary abandoned bridge.
There's a scary bridge up in
Dallas.
Alton by Dallas.
Okay.
And some of the history behind it is that from the late 1800s to the 1950s, it was notoriously used by the KKK.
Well, I turn another race when I get enough sun. I come from a mixed family.
No, of course.
And when I was growing up, we knew better than to run out of gas in Vidor, Texas.
A lot of people don't think I'm half Mexican, but my dad's Mexican and my mother's white, so
no doubt
I look more white than I do Mexican.
Yeah. Well, we have a wonderful collage of people here in Texas, and especially in San Antonio, that has made Texas from the very beginning. We have always been this cultural diversity.
Yes.
And so it comes automatically to the state of Texas. But there was a time that we were Democrat. In fact, we were Democrat for pretty much all of history until, the 90s, 2000, somewhere around there, where, like I said, Karl Rove, George Bush Jr. Changed that around. Um, but Texans are independent.
Yep.
We are independent by heart. It's in our blood, it's in our nature, and especially right here in Alamo City. We think on our own, we make our own choices, and we don't necessarily do red or blue. A lot of people do, but for the most part, you go and you talk to a household, and let's say the one spouse identifies as a Republican, the other one as a Democrat, and they've been married for 3 years, 10 years, 30 years, 60 years. It doesn't matter. That's the way we are. And a lot of people, they don't vote straight ticket.
Yeah.
They vote for the individual. And that's why, on a side note, I tell people this November, you're not voting Republican or Democrat. You're voting Ben Mostyn.
Yep.
Send Ben Mostyn to Austin. That's what you're voting for. And because I get it. Imagine if you could take a fraction of the good from the Democrat side and from the Republican side, and then bring in some originality, some actual analytical thought of problem solving. That's what you get in Ben Mostyn. So you're not voting. Yeah, there's an R by my name. It says Republican. Don't get twisted. I am very much, there's a difference between personal conviction and public policy. My personal conviction is conservative, but I'm going to be representing people of all walks of life. And I have lived in those environments and been friends in those environments all of my life. I get it. I know. And I've got your back. Vote Ben Mostyn.
You know what you're voting for in November?
I guess I do. Very personal, I appreciate that. I like that in a candidate. You gotta know the people. You gotta run to, not because of what side you're on, but because you're there to help.
That's right.
Yeah. So, keep it up.
Keep
that same mentality too. Don't get too. When you're president, when you are.
Yes, sir.
Don't lose it.
Vote Ben Mostyn for president.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I will always be me. And anyone that knows me knows that Mostyn is always Mostyn.
Yeah.
I've had so many nicknames over the years, but Mostynisms. It's the Mostyn way, because I look at, well, what does the book say?
Yes.
How are things supposed to be done?
Yes.
Now, what does life say? What does practicality say? What does this unique situation say? Now, what's our solution? Right? And that's the Mostyn approach. So I hope to make Mostynites out of both of you and of all your listeners. Become a Mostynite. Send Ben Mostyn to Austin. I need that song. Mostyn, Mostyn man.
Mostyn.
I wanna be a Mostyn man.
Mostyn man. I wanna be a Mostyn man.
There we go.
Yes,
Perfect.
sir.
All right.
Last question, then I'm passing it on to you. What are your thoughts about Project Marvel?
Oof, man, what a marvelous topic.
Indeed.
Listen, nobody wants to see the Spurs go anywhere. I'm a huge Spurs fan. Okay, and like I said, there's a story to that. But so I don't want to see the Spurs go anywhere. The Spurs have had the proverbial gun to city council and the commissioner's head for years now. This has been going on for a very long time. It's been hush hush, NDAs, working on this. And because of that secrecy and because of the tremendous amount of money that they have, I have initially been against Project Marvel. Not that I don't want Project Marvel to happen. I love Project Marvel to happen. That sounds wonderful. I'm not sure the timing and the practicality on it. It's one thing I agreed on the mayor on. Okay, pump the brakes. And there's a lot of things I don't agree with the mayor on, but that was one of them. And so when we're sitting in traffic, when our small businesses are being crushed under construction that is never ending. Downtown, whoever's bright idea was to tear up all of downtown simultaneously, and it's been like that for years. What in the world were you thinking?
Yes.
And all of those historic businesses, those small businesses, family businesses, they have been crushed. And what that does is it makes way for the big fish, the corporations, the billionaires, all the whatever to come in, and they just sap it up and put it in their portfolio. So that's the reason why I was against Project Marvel, because I felt that our priorities were wrong. So many people can't even afford to go to a Spurs game. And, I'm a veteran. They're like, oh, you can get some veteran tickets. So you go get some veteran tickets and your head's bouncing off the ceiling.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Oh, man, I need some binoculars.
Yeah.
I might as well
They sit you way up
sat
there.
at home.
Exactly.
Now I can't even sit at home and watch them because you want to put it on streaming. And so unless you have that streaming app, you can't watch a Spurs game. I'll talk about that in a second if you don't mind. But the Project Marvel, it's a fabulous idea. It's just that we paid for the last 3 stadiums, and what do we get out of it? We got messed up traffic. We got tickets that we can't afford. When the East Side revitalization that was promised didn't happen, we already have it. We know what's going to not happen. So why are we going to put that money into it? And that's our tax money. We need that. We need that for our pocket. Or if you're going to go spending on things, why don't you fix our roads? Why don't you put that towards our property taxes? Why don't you actually make our public schools better?
Yes.
That didn't happen. And they said, well, it's not going to be any of your tax money. We're not going to raise taxes. Liars. That was a lie from the beginning, and it's coming out. And people are starting to see where that lie is. They said, well, we're going to make it a tourism tax. Oh, Dallas and Houston does it and this, that. Well, listen, nobody has to take 5 flights to get to Dallas and Houston. Those are hubs.
Yep.
Okay? Remember, our economy is on tacos and tourism. Nobody's rolling out of bed somewhere in America going, geez, man, if I had some money, you know where I'd like to go? San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah.
Okay? You're going to Florida. You're going to California. You're going to New York City, whatever. Okay? We have wonderful things here, and we've got Six Flags and SeaWorld and the zoo, and that's great, right? We are ourselves, and people don't realize how rich in history and culture San Antonio is. I wish they did realize that. But also when you think about businesses, right? When we want to attract other companies to come here, to put their headquarters here, to make these jobs here, what are they coming to? Roads that you can't traverse? A young population that has a 4th grade reading level at best? Okay, this is what we're dealing with. So that's why I was not happy about Project Marvel. And that tax, what people don't realize, everything is related to taxes. When I talk about get rid of property taxes, I want to get rid of we always talk about our homestead tax.
Yep.
All right. People forget, though, about the tax on people that own properties and rent them out, or even companies, because those are rents. Those are business leases. And when those Mortgages, rents, business leases go up. Guess what else goes up?
The tax. Yep.
Insurance. So the insurance costs go up. And it's not just insurance for your rental property, whatever you're renting, or for your business, or for your employees, or whatever. It's also the insurance on your car. So now nobody can afford insurance. You got a single mom that's got 4 kids. Guess what? They're going to be driving dirty. They have to. They have no choice. We don't have a good metro system around here. So you have to have a car. These are the parts that people, forget how it's all tied in. That's why education is my number one priority.
Yes.
But so I want a Project Marvel to happen. It'd be great. It's going to happen, whatever. But it's just unfortunate the way that went about.
Yeah.
Because now those taxes are going to go up, not only property taxes, but also insurances. That tax that they put on the tourism tax for hotels, well, now it costs more. So I want to have my conference in San Antonio. Guess what? My hotel costs more. I've got to take 5 flights to get to San Antonio, right? I'm going to go rent a car. Well, now it costs me more to rent a car in San Antonio because there's that tax. Yep. So it's a domino effect, and taxes aren't the answer. Entrepreneurship, business, that is the answer.
I feel like if a lot of people learned how to navigate and utilize AI, they would have a much better chance of survival within like the business and entrepreneurship world. Only because AI has been used a lot nowadays for job displacement, but if us ourselves can use that to our advantage.
AI is a tool. That's not the answer.
No.
When we have a couple of generations under our belt that have come out of such a failing economic system, we are 43rd in the nation in education. The nation used to be number 1. I don't know where we're at these days. Number 40, number 50 in the world. Okay, this is dismal for the richest country in the world, and we're turning out the dumbest people. So why do you think AI is so popular?
Because it's easy. It's like it's simple. It makes it. It's A to B. It's a line. It's not. It's not challenging.
This is where we don't want to fall in the trap of using our own brain.
Yep.
It's a tool,
Yeah.
and it will help you in so many areas, and it's a wonderful addition, and it's the way of the future. But we cannot allow that to take over our lives and do all the thinking for us.
Yep. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tool, and I'm sure if it's used correctly, when someone is able to put it in the right places in like our society, then yeah, it's gonna be awesome. But right now, it's not very awesome.
And young people right now are suffering the most.
Yeah.
And you know why? It's because you're coming out of your education system, whether it's high school, college, even what the colleges are producing is dismal. Okay. And people are cheating their way through college.
Yep.
So no one has the baseline or the experience necessary or the knowledge base to be successful. And so when that AI comes in and it thinks faster and better than you, you're easily replaced.
Exactly.
And then what are you doing? You're doing a small job for Project Marvel, a minimum paying job.
Yep.
Hauling tacos and drinks. Okay, because that was another thing with Project Marvel. They said, "Oh, it's going to bring in all these jobs." Okay, it's going to bring in a couple construction jobs, and then after that, it's all minimum paying jobs.
Yep.
So,
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
This is a good one.
Good.
What do you believe America was originally meant to represent? And do you believe that it has drifted away from its founding principles?
No, it has not drifted away from its founding principles.
I agree.
And it was meant to represent the people and to give the people a voice in their government, in their leadership. We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. And democracy doesn't work, because democracy comes from the Greek word, the rule of the mob. Okay, so democracy is just, hey, I've got more people that says we're going to, beat up John and take his house because we feel that we own John's house. More people say, yep, let me take John's house away, than the people that say, nope, let John keep his house. Well, guess what? You lose. Okay.
Too
So
bad.
our constitutional republic is, number one, the Constitution, number two, the laws. And that is what we are governed by. And that is what's underneath. Now, it's the social temperature and the noise and all the politics and all the nonsense that keeps people worked up and distracted. That's where we've slipped away. And people are checked out of politics. They don't know who's running for office or what it's about. They don't understand politics. People tell me all the time. They say, "Oh, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about politics. I don't do politics." And I say, "Honey, politics does you every day, all day."
Getting fucked long and hard by politics. Good God.
All the time. So
I don't know what to think about that.
it's a
makes
truth.
makes me not want to do like something like that. But I guess
that's why
it's worth
education.
it. It's worth it though. It's worth it in the end, because like you said, you get it.
Yes,
That's good. It's very good.
And I want to spread that knowledge to everyone. And that's why education is my number one priority. We fix the education system, then people will know. And we won't have that concern that it is slipping away from us, because in some ways it is. And that's our own fault. It's not that we don't have the tools. It's not that we don't have the resources. It's not that we don't have the Constitution. That's all right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. But I also, education. My dad always used to push towards me, like getting good grades, and I mean, it's really brought me along to where I am today, and how I talk to people, especially that, and communication is important when it comes to anything really. Like, you'd rather be able to communicate with someone better than be like, really an extremist, or like, like someone who yells things out. They want something, but they don't know how to express it, so they, wreak havoc. Or they cause issues in our country. And communication, man, it's key.
It is.
Key.
It is. And a lot of that, we're losing that sense of communication because of technology.
Yeah.
We need to take the technology out of the younger years of school, because you need to learn how to write. It's that movement with your hand, and it's the eye to hand coordination and the neurological pathways that are being utilized and built out in the development years that are so essential. When you just have that information being fed to you, it's overpowering your dopamine receptors and all that stuff, your instant gratification. And this is one of the reasons, aside from others, but we won't get into pharmaceuticals and stuff. But anyways, but it's one of the main reasons, why so many people have ADHD.
Yep.
Okay, because you're used to getting that information presented to you. You don't have to do any thinking. And you're not going out there and exploring life and working out those neurological pathways so that the brain develops and that curiosity remains high.
Yeah.
Always be curious. It's like the Dos Equis commercial. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Coming from
Stay
someone-
curious, my
Yeah.
friends.
coming from someone who has ADHD themselves,
Yeah.
I don't use it as a crutch. I definitely like instead I utilize it
Perfect.
because what I do, and he gets annoyed by this, and even our cameraman gets annoyed by this, but I'm bouncing off the walls with different ideas. I probably throw anywhere from like 10 to 30 ideas in our chat by the end of the day.
I'm the exact opposite. My ADHD ruins me. And I wish I could just like not. I don't want to rely on dopamine anymore.
Yep.
I I could just go over there to the barbecue place and buy a freaking delicious, burger and get instant satisfaction from it. It's just like, well, how can I earn it? How can I use that to earn, like, feel like I earned it? Like I want to,
Grow a garden.
yeah, yeah, I want to, dude, I love plants, man.
Have a green thumb, stick it up the green giants,
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just he he has his thinking. I struggle, but hearing that you want to do good is really hopeful for me because we just got to take the right steps, the right direction. I feel like we're going off different paths sometimes. It's just
ADHD isn't necessarily a bad thing. And I think there's too much of it today. And it's an excuse for the pharmaceutical industry to prescribe things.
Yep.
You have to learn how to harness that power. Yeah, I remember when I was in Afghanistan. I had a boss, and he says, Ben, he says, you're like a racehorse. He says, you are so quick and you are so fast and you're ahead of the game and you see things coming and you solve things so quickly. He said, and that's incredible, but he said, what I need is just too much. He says, I need a mule. I need a mule that just takes on the plow and plows the fields nice and slow and steady. I said, yes, sir. I understand, sir. I'll get back to you on that. I think about it for a couple of days and I said, man, I'm just too high speed for this new boss. And so a few days later, I knocked on his door and I said, sir, I've thought long and hard about how I could become that mule. Sir, I'm not a mule. I'm a racehorse. I run.
yeah.
And
Yep.
that's what I do. I win races. So the best advice that I could give you, sir, is to figure out where to run me and get ready to win, because that's precisely what I'm going to do. And that's the problem. We lower the bar so much, and we just want this mule. We just want air, and we miss out on an opportunity of a mind that is moving. And now you got to harness it. You can't just be willy-nilly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a student when I was teaching for the Department of Defense. I taught intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. And so, I had some pretty sharp kids, right?
Mm.
And he says, Mr. Mostyn says, I don't think I want to make this. Says, I need a dropout. I said, why? Well, what's wrong? He says, well, I just can't stay focused. I said, you can't stay focused? Is my teaching boring you? I am the most animated teacher. Okay. Like I bring the classroom to life, like, well, how? You can't stay focused with me. He says, no, you're great. I struggle with the other teachers. You're great. I listen, I have ADHD and I can't take the medication, nor can I ask for the medication, because if I do so, I'm going to pop out on a piss test and I'm going to fail my physical exam. And I said, listen, all right, tell you what, I'm going to keep an eye on you. And when I see you start to drift away, I'm going to bring you back in. He said, I'm watching. I'm always watching everybody. I can see the spark in your eye. So you have to understand your brain goes faster than anyone else. So it's already on to the next thing. And so it gets bored, right? It gets bored and it's moving on. Skip forward. He stuck with it. Skip forward. Totally forget about it. 8 months later, I run into the guy. I said, hey, how you doing? He said, Mr. Mostyn, I want to thank you. He says, I graduated today. I said, what? He says, yep. And I was honor grad. The guy graduated first in his class.
Wow.
And he was honor grad. And I said, see, what did I tell you? You just stick with it. So harnessing that racehorse, harnessing that power and that ADHD is where it's at.
Yeah.
But it takes a trainer that knows how to train a racehorse to be able to see that potential and say, all right, what track can I put this horse on and where can they best run?
Mm. Yeah. Experience matters.
Yeah.
Because then you can teach the other kid how to do it. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah.
And what do I have?
Experience.
Experience across the whole spectrum.
Just take a look at your
From
CV.
hallelujah to hey.
Yep.
You name it. I got it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Couple more questions. How do you support strong borders while respecting immigrants?
So the Constitution gives us the respect and the decency for all races, for all immigrants, and for every single person that is inside the United States, whether they're a citizen or not. Okay. But it is meant for our people, our citizens. That is who it applies to.
Yes.
But we are a decent people. We are a decent nation. In Texas, San Antonio in particular, we are some of the most decent of all. Let me ask you a question. Actually, do me a favor. I want you to ask that question again. Same way you asked it.
How do you support strong borders while respecting immigrants?
Okay. How do you respect locks on the doors of your house while respecting people that want to come inside?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's a deep thinking question.
Because, the locks are there for a reason, and
Exactly.
you only let certain people in that you like, trust, care about, can communicate with.
Or if people have
Or
a job,
educated.
If people have a job to uphold that you gave them while you're away.
Or they have a skill that they can use in your house, and like maybe you want them to help you out with something.
They're your cleaner, your nanny, your
Dog sitter.
sure. Okay.
Stuff like that.
There is no difference to the walls and the door. The walls are the border of our house.
Yeah.
The doors are our ports of entry. No, we don't let people go climbing through the window. No, we don't leave the door open. No, you've got to knock before you come in. No, we're just not letting any old body in, even if we know you, even if you're the neighbor. Right now is not the right time. Our borders are like our house and the doors and the walls that we have. So how do you respect your house, yet have decency with your neighbors, with your friends, with your families? That's how you do the border. Everyone's allowed to come in.
Yeah.
But you've got to knock. You've got to ask permission to step inside. our house.
Yep. See, a lot of people think that, I'm not going to say a lot of people think, but a lot of people forget that there is a process to become a citizen or obtain a visa for through for America. A lot of people also forget that you can't just cross into Mexico illegally. Mexico also has rules and regulations in place. For instance, if you cross into Mexico illegally, I believe it's like a 1 year sentence, prison sentence. I think it is.
So it depends on what your country of origin is and who does what about it, just like any place else. Okay. It's not just Mexico. Every single country around the world has that same policy.
Yep.
And by the way, you can be in any country and they can stop you at any time, say, show me your ID.
Yep.
And if your ID is not their country's issued ID, then they say, where is your visa? And if you don't have that visa, then you are detained.
Goodbye.
And deported.
Yep.
And so there's nothing different about what we're doing here. And people need to respect that. We haven't really enforced that very much, and things went willy-nilly. And this is Texas.
Yep.
Okay, I grew up in Texas, right? You know, my first car accident when I was 9 years old was an illegal. Okay, absolutely wasted. We're sitting at a stoplight at 10 o'clock at night, and the guy comes 50 miles an hour and hits us, launched us across 4 lanes. It's just so hard. Totaled the car. Oh, man. Everybody got injured. And do I hate illegals? No. Do I hate Mexicans? No. Why? That was that guy. It happened. It's a bummer. Yeah. Oh, well. Okay. So I'm not like that. A lot of Republicans aren't like that. That's just the media trying to paint us. But remember, you're not voting for a Republican, you vote for Ben Mostyn. So we have to secure our border and make sure people aren't coming across willy-nilly. And it's not just Mexicans. Probably wouldn't be so bad if it was. When you've got Chinese and Arab nations and African nations, you got all kinds of stuff. Whoa, time out. Time out. This ain't even our neighbors coming into our house. Mm-hmm. This is like some people from freaking Oklahoma. Who said that's okay?
It's like Californians coming to Texas.
Oh, there you go. Don't even look at me, man.
You're from California?
I was born in Texas. Hey, but
Lord, demons. Where at in California?
San Jose.
San Jose, nice.
Yeah, my dad retired from trade school, from his trade, and we moved here. And it's safe to say I'm not one of those, stereotypical far leftists.
Yeah.
I'm not
Antifa.
Stuff like that. I don't even want to jump into that. It's horrible in my opinion. But I have a question for you.
Yep.
One more.
No, ask all the questions you like.
Well, I think we're running out of time.
We have like a 15-30 minute window.
We have
so we're chilling.
They're kicking us out?
Then hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Fire away.
Well, why don't you? It's because I was going to ask the last good one. I was going to save this one for the last.
If I need to shorten my answers so we can get through more questions, you tell me. We can go rapid fire
do
too.
One of them, or do more.
Before we leave, if you want to go rapid fire, we can go rapid fire, and that way we get through all your questions.
All right.
All right. Do rapid fire?
Yeah, let's rapid fire.
Let's go.
Rapid fire.
All right. So, let's see. What's more dangerous long term, weak borders or weak culture?
Weak borders or weak culture?
Yes.
Weakness is the key danger.
Yeah.
So both are equally
bad
because of weakness.
Yep.
All right. How do you support strong border? Oh, we already
Oh
asked
yes,
that.
that one. Yeah.
What does Texas first actually mean to you?
Texas first, that means putting ourselves uh, at the top of the list in the United States of America, taking care of Texas. And that's pivotal or important to my campaign. I want to take care of Texas. That's why I'm running for the Texas House of Representatives. If Washington is going to be a mess and can't get their act together, well, then let's get our act together here in Texas.
Yes. Okay. Do Texans still feel represented by the federal government?
Some Texans do, some Texans don't. I feel like a lot of people they don't even know. They don't know who the representative is. They don't know what's going on. They have no idea. I was talking to a lady earlier today, and she was talking about the economic struggles of her household. And I said, "Hey, did you know that the president authorized sign an executive order so that people that don't get benefits through their workplace, retirement benefits, that they can now have a plan to get that, so that they can build on their retirement plan." I had no idea. I gave her the information. Did you know? Have you ever heard of a 529? A 529 savings plan for your kids, right? They have a young kid. Said, hey, just start putting $50 here, $100 there, $1,000, whatever you can afford. By the time your kid is 18, 20 years old, when they're ready to go to trade school, to college, they now have a pot of money that has grown tax free.
Yeah,
People don't know about these things.
that's interesting. Yeah. All right. Uh, how should voters judge leaders after mistakes?
Judge as you would like to be judged. Everyone's human, and just because you put on a badge doesn't mean that you're not still a person.
Yeah. If somebody disagrees with your politics, why should they still respect you?
Because I have everyone's interest at heart. A vote for Ben Mostyn is a vote for practicality. It's for logic. It's for getting things done. There's nothing in my politics because I stay out of politics and I stick to the issues and the pain points of our society. And everyone can agree to fix our public schools, our roads, our highways, our property taxes, the cost of living, and bringing in jobs to San Antonio. No one disagrees with that.
Here's the kicker. Ready? When your career is over, what do you hope people say you stood for?
Last one.
What's your legacy?
When my career is over, I want people to remember me, my legacy. I want it to be that he always fought for everyone. He was a fighter, a problem solver, got along with everyone of all backgrounds, respected and loved everyone of all belief systems, and stood up and fought for everyone. Was a leader and led people and helped people get to a better place.
I like that.
I won't forget that.
I'm not
For as
gonna
long as I
forget
live.
that. No. You know what he gives? And just thinking about it because of the district number,
What?
he gives Master Chief vibes.
You
You
know
know
what
Master Chief is?
Do you know?
Oh boy. Well, I'm from the military, so Master Chief is. No, I guess I don't.
So Master Chief is like a video game character from this game called Halo. He can
Okay.
pull up a photo if you want to
Yeah,
show
yeah.
him.
All
But
right.
his badge number is 117.
No kidding.
And known to the Covenant, which is an alien species, they call him Demon.
Oh man.
He's
Is this a good guy or a bad
No,
guy?
he's a good guy.
He looks bad, right?
Yeah.
But he's
Yeah,
a good
okay.
guy. Yeah. He's got a little description.
Master Chief from Halo.
Yep.
All right, man.
That's I didn't know that number. It was. Well, you heard it here,
He's a
folks.
Boston man.
Yeah.
We got Master Chief
Master
running for.
yes, sir.
Master Chief Mostyn.
Let's go.
We do want to give you something because we appreciate you coming out here. We have a little gift bag here with all these cool little things inside, little food in there too.
Thank
you know.
I look like I need a sandwich, right?
It's got some food in there. Got some
Oh,
other
wow.
stuff in there.
This is cool. You want me?
You should probably.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out. Oh, I got a T-shirt. Hold on. We got to show this. 210 movement.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
The 210 movement builds disciplined, self-reliant leaders through knowledge, action, and brotherhood, teaching business, finance, and self-mastery. So no man rises alone and no brother is left behind.
Indeed.
I love it.
He's the genius behind those words.
We need to make some soldiers out of two of you.
We do.
I'm telling you. Oh, man. Hey, Cuervo.
It is
Michael.
our pleasure to have you on our podcast.
Awesome food and water. I love it. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it, gentlemen.
You were awesome. You were really cool.
And I want to
Thank
thank
you.
you again for
Thank
your
you.
service. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's an honor to serve. Look to serve again. And all you got to do is send Ben Mostyn to Austin.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, guys.
Thank you.